so much for coming out here and supporting me and just showing up on a Saturday night. There's a million things you could be doing, including watching Netflix, your favorite shows. I'm going to start reading my preface to begin. My preface, or what I like to call the whole and their parts. I wrote this book with all that is in me, the good, the bad, the imperfect human parts of me. Each part labeled something different. As I learn more, experience more, I am not just getting older, I am evolving. I am many things, and below are some of the many pieces of me. I do not speak for others, I only speak my truth. At age 12, I started writing poetry as a coping mechanism to deal with my life's challenges. I grew up in a family where my mother was often cold and distant. She was more of a guardian than an actual parent to me. I also had a stepfather and was the eldest of 4 siblings, me being the only stepchild to my stepfather. Needless to say, I was the black sheep of the family. Growing up, I had endured many trials and tribulations. I suffered from mental, physical, and sexual abuse from those who were supposed to love and protect me the most. I found myself self-medicating with drugs and alcohol. By the age of 15, I was a drug addict. It was at 16 when I told my mother I was gay. Instead of the warm and accepting embrace I was hoping for, my mother asked me to leave her home. I was left heartbroken and afraid. I had to figure out how I was going to survive on my own because I didn't have the help of my family. I was afraid to seek help from agencies and outsiders. I did not want to be put into the foster care system, or even worse, for them to find out I was undocumented. I immigrated to this country at the age of 4 in 1989 and did not become a legal resident until 2015. I had to quickly come to terms with my limitations. I was underage, gay, undocumented, homeless, and a drug addict. Life was anything but easy for me. I battled with depression for most of my life and had attempted suicide 3 times by the age of 18. I came very close to succeeding one of those many times. I somehow found strength and motivation even in the midst of my despair. Writing was the light at the end of the tunnel for me and my only means of survival at that time. I have been diagnosed, misdiagnosed, and tried a variety of different forms of treatment. Unfortunately, none of these methods could cure me of my condition. I have greatly healed and coped with my demons through the use of writing and painting. It is in my poetry that I have been able to record my story. It has been one of tragedy, endurance, and harsh realities. Throughout all odds, I call myself today a survivor. I have succeeded. I stopped doing drugs at the age of 19 and made the decision that my past circumstances would not dictate my future. I worked hard to save money for my education, and I am now completing my 2nd year of graduate school. I am married. I am married to an amazing woman, and we have a beautiful child together. They represent everything I ever wanted in a family. When I look back at the girl I used to be, it is hard to believe that we are the same person. It is hard to believe we are the same person. Though I am not ashamed of my past, I celebrate my beginnings because they have made me who I am today. My story is detailed in my poetry throughout my first book, Not a Fairytale. I opened up and shared my story with others because it is my hope that I can help anyone facing similar hardships. After I came out of the shadows and openly spoke of what I went through as a human being, I found that there are so many people who have gone through similar obstacles. Hearing their stories of resilience moved me and inspired me. It reminded me that I am not alone. Like me, there are many who have stories that need to be told. Power from visibility. Our stories are valid. They need to be heard. Finding myself among others like me gave me the strength to write my second book, Not a Writer, where I discuss my then reality. Since then, I have not only grown older, I have evolved. I know that this is only a step forward. Healing is a lifelong process. This is not the end. I have learned so much and healed through therapy and writing, yet one thing remains the same. I continue to have hope. Hope that through telling my truth, others will be reminded that they are not alone. You are not alone. No matter what your beginnings are, they do not define you. You decide who and what you are. I am still scared about speaking out, about telling my truth. However, if I want to help others, I must be brave. Brave does not mean that I am not afraid. It means that I am afraid and I do it anyway. I will continue to help others find their own strength so they too may heal. To those struggling with your own obstacles in this room, I would like to say to you, you will survive. You will succeed. You will be loved. And you are worth fighting for. I hope my story reaches those who need it. And to all others, thank you for reading part of my story. These next poems are my reflections on what I learned in graduate school, my advocacy work for my various communities, and my reflection on current social political issues that affect those communities. This is called Home Tortillas. Unacceptable language expressions, grammatically bilingually incorrect. Don't say me, say I instead. Mujer, ya cállate. Your words are offending the English language. Mexican immigrant child arrival. Ya llegamos. I am here. Mexico to America. We to I. ESL. English as a second language. Public schools. Hood educated. I will never be able to master the English or Spanish language. Forever at a loss for words. What is this language I think and speak in then? Could it be a third language? One developed out of survival instinct. Those who can't speak, don't eat. Soy humana, yo bebo, yo como, y todavía tengo hambre. This hunger for knowledge has led me to college. There, I found a passion for collecting. In my possession are a compilation of English words on paper. In the center are Spanish words, my name on display. Like me, bilingual are my 3 college degrees. Unacceptable language expressions. You say I'm uneducated. From homeless struggles to universities, I'm more than educated. I know better. You all will silence me. This is the irony of an immigrant. Irony. Lower socioeconomic status, a fancy long word to basically say broke as fuck and struggling. Back then, those words hurt like a self-inflicted dagger wound as they came out of my mouth. The irony of writing a college paper on poverty when I had no place to stay, no dinner plans, breakfast was all I had to eat for the day. Irony. Homeless has many definitions depending on who speaks. If you ask me, I will tell you, it is dehumanizing misery. I once passed out in the middle of the street, walking dehydrated, hungry on my way to work, homeless, employed adolescent. Irony. Immigrant on survival mode. Can't spell in my native language, can barely read in Spanish, child arrival, dreamer, immigrant. I grew up learning American history. I knew little to nothing about my country or people's history. But I could recite all 50 American states in their capital, hand over heart as a child, the American flag. I would serenade. Irony. No soy americana. No soy una buena mexicana. Stuck between two countries, and all I do is wonder who the hell I am when my identity has been stripped from me. Irony. In my heart, feeling that I have two homes, belong to two countries, yet I'm left to feel unwelcome and homeless for what seems like eternity. Irony. Thank you. These next two pieces are me working through my feelings of anger in order to get to the hurt feelings beneath my anger. On the other side of my healers and supporters are those who don't like that I speak out. That's what these next two pieces are about. This is called Ghetto Girl. Letters put together words, their insults, blind opinions. Talk shit because they don't like that I refuse to conform to what they say I should be. I just want to be free. Fuck their labels and fuck what they say about me. Bred in the pueblo, Jalisco, Mexico. Raised in the streets, got myself out of poverty. You all don't scare me. Your shit talk is weak. I must be doing something right for you all to be talking about me. Bitches, choke on your jealousy. I eat cake and sip on champagne. I stack up my wins and with my people share my accomplishments. Together, we will rise again. Mad, you say I'm not your equal, undeserving of my success. I admit, you're right. We are not equals. I can read your books, collect your degrees, but you can't live a day in the streets, sheltered life, raised an ignorant mind. You will never be my equal. Your every fiber is weak. Don't test me. I still carry the raw animal in me. Survivor, fighter. Today I am thriving. Today you made me think of you. But tomorrow, no one will remember you. Thank you. This is Reloaded.
Yeah.
Run. Run. Run, bitch. It can all be taken away. They're waiting for you to fall on your face just to say, I called it first. Ghetto bitches never change. I am stressing about everything these days. What they say, wish I could block it out, put it to rest. Instead, it piles up, fires me up till I'm ready to fight the world again. Trained wild animals have never been good pets. My success is my revenge. Keep talking shit. People like you are afraid that we wake up and realize we can take it all away. The power you took away. So hold tight to those antiquated beliefs. Keep telling yourself that we are unworthy of anything more than poverty. I will continue to contradict you. I survived poverty, tragedy, my enemies, little bitches like you don't scare me. Come at me. I will continue to write, speak, and show the world that ghetto is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Step 1, survive. Step 2, succeed. Thank you. This is What Language Is That? I embraced Mexican and American culture. Unity flows through me. What that means to me. Not an expert in English or Spanish, never claimed to be. A third culture developed out of necessity. In a third language is how I think and speak, derived from both English and Spanish. Language and culture are ever evolving. Is mine so hard for you to see? Before dismissing people like me, consider the evolution of culture and language and the infinite possibilities. This is, I wasn't going to read it, but I'm going to. It's for my boy. These next two pieces are about the issues that happen with the caravan immigrants and my reaction to that. This is I love brown babies. I love brown babies. I love their soulful brown eyes. They wear their various shades of brown like armor. Their powerful cries fill me with pride. Descendants of brilliant architects, like a miracle, my people walked on water. Descendants of farmers, my people and their land nourished each other. Descendants of warriors, my people are survivors and by instinct are resilient. I love brown babies. So many unsaid truths embedded in a single line. I love my brown son, and I will teach him to love his brown skin and brilliant mind alike. Thank you. This is tender age migrants. Educated and grammatically incorrect, bilingual tongue-twisted words, my lines misrepresented. They laugh at me and call me pathetic. Must not be fans of my work. Composition book, my pen armed with ink, words on paper like sewn up parts of me. Tough pages, through them I try to make sense of hatred and massive cruelty. Native or foreign soil, it's all just dirt to me. No need to torment our children, I get it, you want us to leave. I don't speak for others, but if you want me out, I first dare you to live a day in my reality, survive that, then I'll leave. It's easy to judge what you can't see. Maybe if I yell louder, then you'll have to look at me. Look in my eyes. Where is your humanity? Maybe locked up in the tender age cages. You may tailor for those who look like me. Okay. Thank you. This next piece is called Dual Education. Dual education. School and hood educated. Yeah, that's me. 3 American college degrees, but more useful are the lessons that life taught me. What good is a thesis when you lose a friend? What good is a little more money when you can't forget? What I really want is never for sale. To the outside world, I appear to be thriving, but the truth is my skin is crawling from head to toes. Complex trauma recipient. There isn't enough of anything to cover up the bruises and falls. I fear myself, and I'm not alone. Like me, there are many. They told us, survive, thrive, succeed, get out of the ghetto and life will be good. You'll see. And here I am now, blind to what they promised me. Thank you. This is ¿Quién eres tú? Or who are you? These days I am working on myself. Who am I ask myself. I told my white therapist that I want so desperately to understand what it means to be Latina. Before him, I tried to find a brown therapist, but they were all booked, and there isn't many. I guess it lands on him to be my guide, the blind leading the blind. Who am I? Make a list, he suggested. Okay. I am Mexican, an immigrant, formerly undocumented, a dreamer, a resident Latina. Born in Mexico and raised in America. But who am I? What is a real woman? Inside my mind, there's a heated debate and I don't want to take sides. My pronouns, she, he, they, but who am I? It varies by the day. My wife says I'm queer, my prima says I'm loved, my mom says I'm wrong, and I'm just confused by it all. Who am I? I guess I'll see once I get to know all the parts of me. For now, I will learn to love the many versions of me. Thank you. These next few pieces are about the closing chapters of my family of origin, my mom, my siblings, and etc. And kind of making peace with my past. But again, healing is a lifelong journey, so this is only part of it. This is Broke, and it's a story taken out of my past. Around age, I want to say 19. And it starts with the question of what people ask me mostly. Broke. What was that like, they ask? Let's take it back to basics. Organize my thoughts so it will hurt less. First, second, and so on, till last. First, I was 19 years old with a part-time job. I was hungry all the time. But no longer homeless, I had a roof, a pseudo-home. No more sleeping on cold street floors. No more drinking from park fountains. No more dirty clothes. No more begging to sneak in and shower anymore. Second, a B540 community college student. After class, I waited for a bus that would never come. MTA, Los Angeles transit strike, deserted bus stops. In truth, I was just looking for somewhere I could be alone and cry. Third, I was angry, mad. After a long cry, I was way too tired to walk back home. Over 5-mile walk without the proper shoes or clothes. Fourth, my stomach reminded me that I was still hungry, starving. Water from school fountain breakfast wasn't cutting it. Fifth, I looked around at options, a corner store right behind me, but no money in my pockets. I went food window shopping. Integrity, pride, morals, all useless to someone needing to only to embrace primal instincts. Be an animal, survive, eat something. If you don't, you will die. Sixth, a compromise, a pack of Twinkies. Twinkies are 35 cents back then. That's barely stealing. I stared at them for a while. I imagined what it would feel like not to be hungry for a while. Then I walked out empty-handed. I went back to sit on the bench where the bus never came. Last, as I sat alone on the bench, a stranger, middle-aged man, wanted to know why I was crying. I am hungry, I have no money, I can't fucking steal, that's why I'm crying. Now leave me alone, I yelled. A stranger bought me lunch that day, asking nothing in return. A stranger reminded me I wasn't alone. I was human after all. And no, I never stole so much as a Twinkie when I was broke. What was that like, they asked. Here is a glimpse. Do you want more? Thank you. This is She Made It Out. I will not cry, body says to mind. I will not cry. Visible is my heart, visibly open, visibly broken. The survivor got me this far. Now she's retired. I fear I am not strong enough. Tired of this back and forth struggle, guilt among my daily thoughts. Am I doing enough? Leave your clients at the doors, enjoy your life, smile more. One day at a time, you made it out. She dreamed of this, you owe her this. Hold your head high, and don't you let them see you cry. Thank you. This is Child Girl Me. Masochist, voluntarily opening wounds, just to speak truth, the typical life of a throwaway youth. Imagining child girl me receiving my message, from body to mind, your fragile self, trust me, will heal someday. It is you who I can't but still wish I could save one day. It is you who fought hard to save me today. Thank you so much. This is a Sunday of tears and whiskey. And she's gone, dead. Shot her away. 2 shots to numb it down, then the rest to keep it away. I said goodbye, no funeral, but my mother is dead. No time for tears, I will not regress. I seek peace of mind in my success. This relentless pursuit led me to feel inadequate, a failure in the midst of my accomplishments. Terrified of proving them right. Were they right? Digital congratulations. No one has time to meet in person, no time for an exchange of humanity. How lonely life can be. I must be vulnerable and weak for it to bother me. One of my many insecurities. Role model, advocate for others, hugs, tears from those who believe in me. I wish I was as strong as you, they say. The guilt weighs heavy on me. A constant disappointment to myself. I am not who I appear to be. Healing is never easy for me. As one part of me dies, a newfound stranger takes over me. Were they right about me? I guess they'll have to wait and see. Thank you. This is Letter to My Mother. To be honest, it still hurts. I miss the good parts. The 2 times you said you loved me, complicated love. The mother I wished for, but you never measured up. The daughter you hoped for, but I never measured up. Disappointment on both our parts. Mother, you are my biggest love tragedy story to date. I often think of you and still love you. I suspect you do the same. To be honest, I forgive you. I just wish I could forget. Thank you. This is It's Complicated. Where are you now? Maybe busy trying to make it through the day and praying that you can finally sleep today. Do I cross your mind sometimes? Do you regret losing a daughter when you couldn't say you're sorry? Do you hate me now, Mother? You often said I was not at all like you. I wasn't anything you understood. Did you erase me, Mom? Childhood dresses, photos, letters, and that painting on your dresser. I get it. I get it. In my closet are taped up boxes labeled "Do Not Open." Did you ever? Did you ever smile as a child? Or did dark sadness always surround you? I know you don't believe me, but I truly wish you joy. I don't hate you anymore. I have learned to love and be loved. I pray healing and forgiveness for us both. Our current status, love. But it's complicated, Mom. I'm gonna attempt this to read this in Spanish, and if you know me personally, you know my Spanish is es complicado. ¿Dónde estás ahora? Tal vez tratando de sobrevivir el día y rezando que esta noche te gane el sueño y para que al fin puedas dormir. ¿Aún piensas en mi madre? Perdiste una hija por no poder pedir perdón. Preferiste decir adiós. Mamá, me has llegado a odiar. Me dijiste varias veces que no me entendiste para nada. No sabes cómo somos madre e hija si no estamos de acuerdo en nada. No entiendes cómo pude hablar sobre lo que pasó entre tú y yo. Quiero que sepas que no fue mi intención lastimarte o romper tu corazón. Madre, ¿ya me has olvidado? ¿Qué hiciste con los vestidos viejos y fotos de niña de mí que aguardabas con cariño de mí? ¿Qué has hecho con la pintura que te hice con amor a ti? Te confieso que he tratado de borrarte a ti, pero no importó mis intentos, la memoria no trabaja así. ¿Has tratado de hacer lo mismo con todas las memorias de mí? Cuando eras niña, sonreías. ¿O siempre han vivido la tristeza y soledad en ti? A pesar de todo, yo sé que no me crees, pero deseo que algún día seas feliz. Que puedas otra vez sonreír. Madre, yo no tengo las fuerzas para ya odiarte a ti. Yo he aprendido a amar y ser querida. Te deseo lo mismo a ti. Thank you. There goes my makeup. This is, am I doing enough? Am I doing enough? A wise teacher told me once, don't worry about others. If you compare yourself to others, you will always feel not good enough. She was right. Sometimes I feel I will never be good enough. Hard not to get angry at the life I was dealt. Obstacles, trauma, abuse, and neglect. No word is good enough to describe what I lived with. Am I doing enough? There are no easy answers. Every learned lesson brings about more questions, like, did my childhood innocence need to be taken? Did I need to be alone for so long to prove I am strong? Did my mother have to betray me? Did my siblings need to fall prey to hood pressures? Did both my mind and body need to be taken? Did I need to suffer all these injustices just to say that I overcame them? Did I have to suffer so much for people to minimally respect me? It seems that some want me to suffer indefinitely. I try my best to help others. Sacrificed me since childhood, always the caretaker, the healer, the savior. Let my stepfather walk away without jail time because my family begged me. But where the fuck is my empathy? I am unforgivable, unlovable, unpredictable because they can't label me. They say I should be ashamed of me. To be honest, some days I wake up without the strength to fight their opinions of me. The pressure, it gets to me. Am I doing enough? Deep down, I know the answer, and I'm scared of it. It will never be enough. There isn't enough to heal what was done. Thank you. This is warning explicit content, and as the title states, this is the time to walk out. for a dime bag. Thought she was the love of my life at the time. Two men, entitled, telling me what she said. I wish then I could die instead. That day, a little piece of me was chipped away. A little piece of something, can't quite label it, but to this day, the aftermath remains. Reminding me of remembering what? Reflecting. From foggy to clear, remembering. I can survive anything. I will survive anything. These next pieces are about the end of my 2-year therapy and self-healing journey and my final thoughts and reflections. Today, all my pieces have been explored, healed, and unified. Today, I am whole. This is those who are broken, and this is also my message to anybody else struggling with their own obstacles. Those who are broken. Figure it out. Let it all out. Be yourself. Let yourself. Who you are is vulnerable, not weak. Who you are is good enough, strong enough. Let them see. Let them know that from darkness it is possible to emerge and heal. Those who are broken are not without hope. Gather your pieces, assess the mess, know yourself. Then put yourself back together. No matter how broken, you are worth putting back together. You are worth putting back together. This is Journey to Here. Here. I am here. Big black eyes wide open, heart mending, no longer broken. I am here. I can feel again. My demons now house trained. I will not lock them away. Coexisting with my past pain. I am here. Living proof of better days, better life, better me, bittersweet. I am here. Feeling the earth under my bare feet. There is wisdom in simplicity. I am here, embracing the child in me. She is finally safe. I look in her eyes. She is finally loved. I love her. I am here, building a bridge, planning my new path, where all my many needs can be free at last. This is In Session, and it was dedicated to my therapist, David. I asked him permission before using his name. And he's incredible. I've said thank you, but there is no greater word than thank you, so I told him thank you, and I will many, many more times. This is called In Session. And he said it, there it was. My darkest parts exposed, a willing witness to it all. Disgusting truth received with empathy, compassionate humanity. Today I walk away from wounded, original me, broken, lost, shattered pieces. Together, we found and with gold put together the many pieces. Sessions terminated, reborn. From wounded to healed to trained healer, analyzed. Therapist certified, no diagnosis needed. He is my therapist and healer. Thank you. And that's pretty much it.